Hey everyone, welcome to our 3 o'clock live. I am Heather, and we come to you live each and every day, Monday through Thursday, 5 times a day, starting at 9 a.m., Fridays 9 and 11. So we give you tons of opportunities to learn, to hear, to see Luminous. We have color cosmetics, skincare, and of course, we have Airbrush, which everybody knows about. And so it's an opportunity for you to also ask questions. This is a live chat, and so we do want you to ask your questions. It doesn't have to be about what we're talking about at the moment. It can be about anything regarding Luminous. Now, every single time that we do this, we love to go over the basics and what we talk or what you get in your starter kit. So we always go over that. And so let me show you real quick. This is one of our starter kits, but this is the icon, and it comes with makeup. So it comes with everything you need. It's going to come with 2 large bottles of foundation, a love, and blush. Now with the blush, you're only going to be using 2 drops at a time. Because remember, if you don't know, with airbrush makeup, you're going to be using 10 times less makeup. And so that way, you really are only having to use drops at a time. But our blush is super high pigmented, meaning it does bloom. And so we'll talk a little bit about that as well. And then love might not be something you use every single day. It might be something you use every once in a while, but there's many different uses for it. And you might love it. Who doesn't love love? And so it might be something you use every day. But again, you're going to be using 2 to 3 drops. So when you get your system, we want you to get it out and airbrush. So get it out, plug it in. You don't have to put it together. You just have to plug it in. And as soon as you turn it on, there's air that comes out. So wherever you feel this air is where the makeup's going. And so this right here, moving that air around, keeping the stylus 4 finger widths away, keeping your hand moving, that's practicing. Then you can put water in here and then start pulling back on the trigger. You're going to pull back very lightly, not all the way. I pull back all the way when I'm cleaning it or when I'm trying to empty out what's left in the bowl. So it is very, very little on pulling back. So that's one thing you are going to want to practice. So let's talk about foundations, because we have different foundation finishes. And so, you might have ordered one and then maybe you want to try another one. And so they do come in the small, like a 0.25, which is this size. And then you might have this size. So you can order this one if you want to try another finish, and then order the big one when you're ready. So we have matte. Actually, I think we even have a little information sheet on it. So right here is we have the silk. It's sheer to medium. Now, these are going to give you a ballpark of what they can do. All of our foundations, hands down, can give you full coverage, but these are the golden rule. So with the silk, this is our more forgiving. This is the one I use every single day. I love it. It gives you silk or sheer to medium coverage. And then it also is going to have a silky finish. And then it's for all skin types. Ultra is for combination skin, dry skin. It will leave you a dewy finish. And matte is going to keep you matte. So if you are oily, or if you just like a matte look, then the matte will be good for you. And then Mystic is our full coverage. And that, let me take that off right there. Whoop. Okay. So there you go. Hi, Candy. Good to see you. So I want to go over, we're going to go over foundations. My lips look like there's nothing there. So I'm taking the Dusty Rose lip liner and I'm going to apply some lip liner. I feel like I have no lips. So Let's make some. It's hard to talk when you're doing lips. I do make them look fuller, so I do line on the outside. Oh, okay. Feels so much better now. Little things can make a difference. All right, so now with the foundation, and I'm going to be using the Silk 4-in-1. And we're just going to focus on the foundation because I want to show you some different things that you can do, especially if you're new. Because chances are, if you're new, you're going to be applying it too heavy. And the reason I know that is because just about everybody does. We're so used to seeing the makeup and dealing with traditional makeup that it does take a moment and for it to snap in that you don't want to see the makeup going on, okay? And I know that sounds so weird, but it's so true. All right, so I'm going to put kind of a lot of drops in here because I just want to start working with it. So when you first do it, if you are spraying, and I hope you're going to be able to see, if you are spraying hard and it feels wet or sticky or tacky, then that shows that you're not spraying right. So make sure, because you're not going to go in there, like if I'm covering this area here, I'm not going in here to do this. That's doing it like traditional makeup, and that's not what we want. I'll do it on this side. I can get under my eyes. Notice that my hand keeps moving, and it's dry. This is actually even still wet. Can you see where I just put my finger on it? Can you see that? So that is still wet. So that's going to show you that you're spraying too hard. If you feel like you need dry time in between, that's going to tell you that you're spraying too hard. If at first that's what it does, that's fine. Don't freak out about it. But just know that what I'm telling you is what you're going to get up to. This is a new way of applying makeup. And so don't expect to be an expert the very first time that you do it. It might take you a couple of tries. You can still apply it. It's still going to look good, but it's going to look amazing when you get that sweet spot where that trigger is, when you know how to move you're not racing through, you're doing it the right way. So if I can go back, spraying, keeping my hand moving. And I can keep going. Now, if I'm doing this, and let's say, oh no, I sprayed that too heavy and it's a plunk. I can tap it out, or I can do it that way. I can use a blender. Don't be scared. There's always ways to correct it. Okay? There's always ways to correct. Now, the other great thing about Luminous is the fact that you don't have to have the same amount of makeup everywhere. So most of my coverage is right here, so I don't have to put the same amount on my forehead. So let me get that coverage. Now, I am going to go back and I'm going to use a little bit of glow underneath my eyes. And I'm going to put just a couple of drops. And glow is a highlighter as well, but there's no shimmer in it. So it's a great, true highlighter. So looking up, angling my stylus down just a little. And I can highlight again, sprayed a little bit too heavy. I can use that or do it with my finger. Nothing wrong. I can keep going. There's always ways to correct it. You can even do a little bit on my brow bone. And again, I'm going to mess up real quick. Oh, no. Tap it out, tap it out. You can tap out just about anything. If you get a hot spot, if you have like a makeup, that's what we call a hot spot, you can tap anything out. This is already dry. So if you are doing it correctly, you should not have any hot spot streaks. It shouldn't be wet. You should be good to go. One great way to practice is to take a tissue, take a paper towel, piece of paper, and airbrush with foundation the piece of paper. What that tells you, and do all your movement. Make sure your forefinger was away. Make sure you're moving that stylus. Make sure you're barely pulling back on that trigger. That big contrast, because it's white paper or a white tissue or a white paper towel, and spraying foundation shows you what you may need to practice on. Is the paper wet? Are you pulling back too hard? Are you too close? Are you not moving? So that helps you. If you have somebody that you can practice on, that you can airbrush, that is another great way to learn more about it, because it does give you the opportunity to see it go on. Because when I'm spraying, when we're doing it ourselves, I'm telling you, spray so light that you question whether or not it's coming out. Well, how are you supposed to figure this out? So it sometimes is nice to see it being done as well. So those are options that you have when doing airbrush. Now, don't get discouraged. Don't get upset. Again, you might not be an expert the very first time. I don't think anybody was. And just know that there is a learning curve. You're not touching your face. You're applying your foundation with air. That's going to take a second. It will take a second. So don't worry about it, okay? Just have fun, play with it, experiment with it, mess up with it, because it's going to teach you as well. All right, there you go. I want to see some practice going on, okay? All right, guys, we're going to be back at 5. We're going to do a full face of makeup at 5. So I hope to see you back. We'll be on Facebook and on YouTube. So I will see you guys back here at 5. Thanks so much. Bye for now.